Spoiler alert! So, you're making a movie. You've got your main protagonist. But if you want your audience to care about them for the next couple of hours, you've got to show the audience who they are and why they should care. Note the word show, because that is the golden rule of filmmaking. Show, don't tell. If you simply tell your audience information, it feels unnatural. Let's take a look at some dialogue.
Johnny's my best friend. Johnny's my best friend.
He's your best friend.
I'm so happy I have you as my best friend.
Oh, come on, Johnny's my best friend.
No, Mark's his best friend.
See, would any of you talk like this in real life? The issue with dialogue such as this is it doesn't treat the audience with respect. It feels like the characters are pausing for the movie and saying, "Hey guys, this is the relationship that these characters have. Okay, back to the film." It breaks the audience's suspension of disbelief because they feel like they are watching a film rather than watching events happening. If you want to show people what the relationship between characters is, there are best ways to do it. For example,
망했다 이거. 공짜 와이파이 못 쓴다 이제.
야 기정아. 야 윗집 아줌마랑 IP 타임 암호를 거셨다 드디어.
암호. 이래서 국까지 놀러봤어?
안 돼.
반대 순서로도 해봐.
안 된다니까.
아이씨, 뭐야 그럼? 그 문자고 카톡이고 다 안 되는 거야?
그치.
야, 김기태. 이 씨발 자는 척하지 말고 어떻게 생각하셔? 핸드폰도 다 끊기고 와이파이도 다 끊기고, 응? 씨발 계획이 뭐야?
this scene from Parasite works brilliantly because straight from the off, you are shown the situation. You can tell that these people are a family because there are two middle-aged people and two adolescents in the same house. It also sets the scene that this is a very poor family, as they struggle to access Wi-Fi and live in a poor quality underground house. This works perfectly because it's realistic. It is a day-to-day interaction between this family, and it shows the audience who they are and what their situation is, without patronising the audience using narration or unrealistic dialogue. The movie simply says, here's our main characters, and as an audience we can put the pieces together ourselves. It shows the audience who our protagonists are, and hence it doesn't make the audience feel like idiots. Here's another example from This Is England.
And that Thatcher sits there in a fucking ivory tower and sends us on a fucking phony war. The Falklands? Fucking Falklands? What the fuck's the Falklands? Fucking innocent men, good fucking strong men, good soldiers, real people losing their lives. Going over there thinking they're fighting for a fucking cause. And what are they fighting for? What are they fighting against? Fucking shepherds. Shepherds with fucking rocks and little rifles. Why?
Because I want you to.
There's fucking loads of dickheads dying out there for nothing.
My fucking dad wants a dickhead!
What you fucking doing, you little...
Fuck off!
Hey, you're doing wrong.
Shut up!
Oh, you little one. What's wrong, mate? Tell me the truth. No, come on, tell me the truth.
I'm just fucking...
That's it, go on,
My
what's this?
fucking dad died in that war.
Your dad died?
Yeah, get off!
I absolutely love this scene because of how immersed it makes you feel. With one line of dialogue, you learn so much about a character, and so many things come together and all make sense at once. Throughout this film, we've seen this character struggle, and we've wondered why it's just his mum there, and we keep thinking what happened to his dad. And once he reveals what has happened, it hits so powerfully. We feel the reaction of everyone in the room because we learn this information with them, and as a result it makes us feel like we are there. Again, they could have easily put in some patronising dialogue, like his mum saying, "When your father died in the Falklands War 5 years ago, blah blah blah," but this is built up to, and when it all comes out, it hits you hard. Let's take a look at another example, this time with Pulp Fiction.
You know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese?
Oh man, they got the metric system. They wouldn't know what the fuck a quarter pounder is.
And what do they call it?
They call it the Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
That's right.
What do they call a Big Mac?
Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac.
Le Big Mac. What do they call a Whopper?
I don't know. I didn't go on a Burger King. You know what they put on French fries in Holland instead of ketchup?
What?
Mayonnaise. I seen them do it, man. They fucking drown them in this shit.
So in this scene, you learn so much about these characters without them actually saying much about themselves. To set the context, these two are on their way to kill someone for their boss, and on the way, they spend the journey talking about what hamburgers are called in various countries. The fact they are talking about something so trivial whilst on their way to ending a human life shows that this kind of task is commonplace for them, as it doesn't daunt either of them at all. We do get a bit more exposition in the bit after, where they talk about the conflict that has brought them here.
You don't be giving Marcellus Wallace's new bride a foot massage.
You don't think he overreacted?
Well, yeah, that's why I probably didn't expect Marcellus to react the way he did, but he had to expect a reaction.
It was a foot massage. A foot massage is nothing. I give my mother a foot massage.
It's laying your hands in a familiar way on Marcellus's new wife. I mean, is it as bad as eating her pussy out? No. It's the same fucking ballpark.
Whoa. Stop right there. Eating a bitch out and giving a bitch a foot massage ain't eating the same fucking thing.
It's not. It's the same ballpark.
Ain't no fucking ballpark, neither. Now look, maybe your method of massage differs from mine, but you know, touching his wife's feet and sticking your tongue in the holiest of holies ain't the same fucking ballpark. It ain't the same league. It ain't even the same fucking sport. Look, foot massages don't mean shit.
Have you ever given a foot massage?
Don't be telling me about foot massages. I'm the foot fucking master.
You giving a lot of them?
Shit, yeah. Got my technique down and everything. I don't be tickling or nothing.
Would you give a guy a foot massage?
Fuck you.
You give him a lot?
Fuck you.
You know, I'm kind of tired. I could use a foot massage myself.
Yo, man, you best back off. I'm getting a little pissed here.
And look, I've given a million ladies a million foot massages, and they all meant something. We act like they don't, but they do. I mean, that's what's so fucking cool about it.
This dialogue, whilst essentially telling the audience what is going on, does so in a manner that respects the audience, because it is something that these characters would realistically say. But we also learn more about who the characters are. Jules' defensive manner when Vincent asks if he'd give a foot massage to a man highlights his tough, masculine nature, whilst Vincent boasting about how many women he has given foot massages to shows him as a womanizer. And while still in the building, they discover a case. And this leads me to my next point, the MacGuffin. A MacGuffin is defined as an object, device, or event that is necessary to the plot and the motivation of the characters, but insignificant, unimportant, or irrelevant in itself. Examples of the MacGuffin are the meaning of the word Rosebud in Citizen Kane, the ring in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, or Private Ryan in Saving Private Ryan. So the MacGuffin is there to drive the film forward, almost to give the characters an excuse to do things. But a lot of the time, the journey surrounding them is shrouded in mystery, and the protagonist's journey to find this MacGuffin is what drives the film forward. But at some point you have to reveal this information. But how do you go about that? Let's take a look at an example that doesn't really work. So for example, all three of the newest Star Wars films have a MacGuffin that drives the movie forward. In The Force Awakens you have the map to Luke Skywalker, in The Last Jedi you have the First Order's tracking device, and in The Rise of Skywalker you have that sat-nav thing that guides you to a Sith homeworld. Now, all three are there for the purpose of getting the ball rolling, but the issue is, the way they were revealed makes it obvious that this was the case, because they are all solved within a second, and it's clear the writers were like, okay, let's just reveal it now so we can get on with the movie. In The Force Awakens, it turns out R2 had the map the whole time. In The Last Jedi, the plan kind of just gets forgotten about, and it's obvious it was just an excuse to shoehorn characters into the film. In The Rise of Skywalker, it turns out the sat-nav was in C-3PO's head all along. As a result of this information, it makes the audience feel cheated, as they've wasted their time with the film when the MacGuffin is revealed, as it isn't believable. Because it's revealed so quickly, and the character's like, there it is, it seems obvious, and you can tell it was only there to make things happen because of how quickly the subject is dropped after. Let's compare it to the aforementioned Citizen Kane. So the movie revolves around a journalist trying to find out why Charles Foster Kane's last word was Rosebud. The journalist goes through the movie finding information about Charles Kane, whilst we ourselves try to put together the pieces and discover why indeed that was his last word. This search lasts for the entire film, and, at the end, the character gives up his search. But in final moments of the film, we see this information revealed to us. We see that Rosebud was the name for his sledge that we see him playing with at the start of the movie. This reveal of the MacGuffin works so well because it is built up to so heavily and shrouded in mystery. We see Charles Kane lose his way, as he falls from an ambitious young man to a grumpy and lonely old person. And this reveal hits so hard because we see how he misses the days of his youth, where he was simply having fun without a care in the world. And this reveal has so much more power because it's when the movie signs off, so it's how we remember it. They could have easily had one of the characters he interviewed say, oh yeah, Rosebud was his sledge, but instead, it is revealed with dramatic irony, and also provides a tragic twist, as nobody will ever know what Charles Kane meant in his dying moments. So you want to reveal the information, try and stick to reality, try and find the right moment to do it by measuring the impact it will have on the audience, and make sure that the audience is learning information with the characters, because that way you feel it and become immersed. You feel the shock Luke feels when Darth Vader says, "I am your father," and as a result, you relate to him, and it feels like you are watching events happen, not footage being shown on the screen. Tally ho.